So, different stories are posted on X on the day to day, and through various outlets. And let's just go ahead and take a look to see, what all is happening throughout the city. See what's posted. I know there's a lot of sports stuff. So what I'm thinking, overall, uh, all right, what I'm thinking overall is I'm gonna end up going over the news. I'm gonna go over the news with you guys. I'm gonna go over um, any events that might be going on inside the city. All right, and then any type of opportunities that may be occurring in the city also. Same thing with or even in the news, we may be talking about a city council meeting that went on that particular week or day. For example, on June 25th, there was just a council meeting that took place, and we're gonna go through it and see what's popping with it. So these videos are gonna be pretty long in length overall. Uh, they're gonna be pretty long in length, and I'll chop them down to digestible sizes, and we'll see what kind of comes out of it or whatnot. But I want to see your participation, because it's not as fun if uh, I'm not getting the feedback from the stream. Okay, right now these are recorded, but they will be live. So obviously there's going to be pauses, so on and so forth, and I'll just do my best to cut that out. But boom, we'll get it done. All right, yes sir. Like I said, it was 87 degrees over here in good old Memphis, Tennessee. Beautiful, beautiful city. Beautiful city. All right. And I know you can go through your own um, feeds and see what's going on, and read the stuff. So I'm not gonna read every single word. That would be a waste of time. But you won't get the commentary though. All right, so you can see right here what's on my screen, and just going through a couple of the things. So, yeah, one of the big things that has been going on is MSCS. They've been hiring. Well, actually, it's been the whole debacle that's been happening with Memphis Shelby County school system. Um, they just hired a new superintendent, and I'm sure they'll say her name inside this article. What's her name? Yeah, Superintendent Dr. Marie Fegans is her name. So they just hired a new superintendent who's shaking it up. She's doing her thing. She had a plan coming through the door, knew what she wanted to do, and really just went into effect executing her steps. And one of those steps were to, get people out of the Shelby County School headquarter building and get them back into the schools. So that meant a lot of people had to take jobs and pay cuts that they may or may not have wanted. They worked hard to get to, the Shelby County Schools administration building, And now with I guess the overall job shortages that they've had and the new direction that they want to go in, they are ushering those people back into the schools where they can have a better effect on the children, which overall it makes a lot of sense. I'm looking at it from an outside point of view. I'm not an individual that's weaved into our school system, but I know one thing: that's where it starts. That's where we can have the most effect overall in the community is with the young kids, and that's the biggest impact. Because if we can change their minds or lead them in a direction that's going to be beneficial for them and the community, ultimately everybody wins, and they're being taught what they need to be taught proficiently, using whatever tools that they have. It's important. It's really important for the future of the city, the future of the country, the future of the kids and their families. You never know what kind of product might come out of this area. So, but it was a big debacle because she went in executing her plan, and it came out of left field. Nobody knew about it. It was short deadlines, of short fuses. I think that they had gotten the email around the middle of June, and they were expected by the end of June to be in the new positions if they chose to accept it, or they were no longer teachers. But again, to be effective, sometimes that's exactly what you need. You need to pull the trigger. Let's go ahead and get this thing done. Ultimately, what the school board ended up doing, because there was pressure from the teachers, they were shocked. They just received the email saying whether or not do you want to or do you not want this new position. There's no other choices. It's either you want it or you don't. And they were shocked. Came out of nowhere. I have 2 weeks that I have to make this decision or I don't have a job. And so I guess the school board said that they needed to pause, develop a full plan, make sure that everybody was aware of it, run it by the state, and then come back and do whatever execution needed to be done. So it was just done a little sloppy initially, but I think overall, the direction and the main thing is do you have a plan? That's all we care about. Do you have a plan for whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish? She has a plan, so how can you be mad at her? You know what I mean? So not even mad about that whole situation. Anyways, Tennessee's largest school district is looking for help. A little more than a month before Memphis Shelby County schools get back in session. Tuesday at East High School, the district will host a second hiring blitz. And by the way, there was 1,100 job shortages, so that's a big gap. And teachers that it's necessary, which is an opportunity to learn about open positions and even get hired on the spot. The superintendent said her goal is to get the vacancy rate down to just under 400 and talked about the kind of candidates the district wants. Certainly, we need teachers. We need certified instructors that want to do this work and have the type of passion and energy that is required in the classroom. Some of the positions within the district include dean of students, school nurses, social workers. The hiring event will be held at East High School from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m. Several of our students are multiple grades behind, so it requires an acceleration of the type of work that we do. Fegan said, graduation coaches, it's important for us to get to students early and often so that it is grade 9 as they transition to high school so we can catch them before they fall into the gaps. Again, targeting the school system is extremely important, and that's something that we're going to end up having to do if we want to actually make a difference in this thing. Let's see if we can find something good. I don't, I mean that right there is it's a good story, and I'm glad that they put that out. But let's see what's popping. Oh, we being slow. Nah, fool. Man, let's move over to Twitter. Let's move over to Twitter. Bear with me. I have no idea. Yeah, let's see what's popping. Hold on 1 second. All right. So, yeah, we don't care about Donald Trump. That's some old foolery right there. I really don't understand this whole Supreme Court thing with Trump. Man, that whole we won't even get into that right now because I don't even know what to think. But um, you know, there's some wild stuff going on nationally, let alone Memphis. Around 5:15 a.m., deputies responded to a shooting with injuries in the 7600 block of Newfound Gap. That was the um, post we just read just a moment ago. Let's see what else is happening. Man. All right, so from WRAG News Channel 3, a man is out on bond after he's caught in possession of a stolen handgun after he and another person were arrested for reckless driving. Gotta love it. Got to love it. And this is another major thing. Okay, so man caught with stolen handgun out on bond. All right. Nonstop. And this has been one of the major sticking points here in Memphis. People going and doing whatever crime that they're doing, and then going to court, getting out on bond. Shootings, so on and so forth. They're not staying in jail, and they're getting out on bond. Now, I don't know. I haven't seen the real numbers from the Shelby County or the district attorney's office here, but that's the news line that you've seen. That's you've seen inside, all the news channels, all the newspapers. That's what they've been talking about because it has happened a lot. Now, what I'm gonna do is I will go in. I'm gonna research that a little bit more to see whether or not it's happening across the board, certain situations. I don't know. I just know that they're being more friendly to the person committing whatever crime. They're getting a bond when in a lot of these cases they probably shouldn't get a bond, or it should be way higher than what it is. But it's been a major issue. It's been a major issue. So a man's out on bond. So this is just another one in a stack of a lot of them already. A man is out on bond after he was caught in possession of a stolen handgun after he and another person were arrested for reckless driving. The kid's young. Cordarius Hampton, 22, was the passenger of a red Dodge Charger over the weekend that police say was seen running the red light at South Perkins and American Way. Now, first of all, that happens all the time. I don't know whether or not this specific situation I don't know whether or not this specific situation what happened, but if that's what the officer said, then that's what he said. When officers attempted to stop the vehicle, the driver fled eastbound on I-240 at a high rate of speed. A NASCAR race. Get on 240 if you want to, especially at a certain time at night. And they're shooting all the time on the highway, so, and was said to be weaving from lane to lane. Again, as regular. Officers did not pursue the vehicle, but were able to locate it, all right, in the 92 block of Alcove Lane, where the two men were seen exiting it. I'm going to tell you this also. I'm not going to say any names in these articles. I just feel like, I don't know these people. They're not publicly known necessarily. They're only being, identified in these articles. If you want to go see the articles, then you can go ahead and see. I'll say a last name or something like that. But with the kids being 22, we don't want to throw them under a bus any more than what they are. I'm not going to get too psychological about the shit. But I will say that everybody does what they do for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what that is. So I try not to pass judgment on whoever it is that might be in the middle of something without knowing the full story. Some stories I don't need to know. And in those cases, I know what I'm saying? I'm not going to say anything necessarily bad. You know what I mean? What they did was foul. We just need to we need to remediate that shit. The driver was identified as a 20-year-old Harris, and then Hampton was found in possession of a stolen handgun. There's another deal. Harris was charged with disregarding a traffic signal, evading arrest, reckless driving, violation of vehicle registration, and financial responsibility. Hampton was charged with theft of property. Police say he has a prior arrest for 2 counts of aggravated assault. Bond was set at $2,500 for both men. They have since been released. You gotta love it, man. I promise you, this shit doesn't make it. You can't make this shit up. That's all I can tell you. You cannot make this stuff up. $2,500. So if the bond was $2,500, hold that thought. Good God. Good God. Hold on 1 second. Calculator. Bond said at $2,500.